right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Royce, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Mueller in a matter of moments at the 93.7 The Fan Cam, and we definitely have a lot to talk about. I love this time of the year. It's the NFL Draft, and, you know, nothing is better than the NFL Draft when the Buccos are winning. Huge win. They scored 15 runs in the last two games, Chris, against the Dodgers, a lineup that's supposed to be unbelievable, one of the most expensive lineups in the majors. And Roansy Contreras just dominated this lineup. And how about the Buccos? Getting back to a winning streak here today. 17
they scored 15 runs. They scored 15 runs and only won one of those two games, which is a mild annoyance. But Drew Maggi gets to make his major league debut, maybe his only plate appearance. That was a nice story. Roansy Contreras is really good. I'm not going to rain on the parade at all what they're doing to the Dodgers, even though Max Muncy's on the parental leave list, the paternity list. That's still a lineup with Mookie Betts, with Freddie Freeman in it. Still a dangerous team, still a really good team that'll be there at the end. I thought a really nice bounce back tonight by the Pirates to show that they weren't going to wear that stink of that blown lead yesterday. And really, they just got the lead and then kept adding on. Rodolfo Castro, a really nice piece of hitting. A good challenge by Derek Shelton on the blocking the plate rule that leads to more runs. Just a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff to like for the Pirates in this game.
I know, they're off to one of their best starts since the early 90s. One of the reasons Brian Reynolds, who signs a huge deal today, signed it, agreed to it yesterday, made it official today. He's the Pirates' first $100 million man. Do you think that this is maybe a sign of that they're heading in the right direction, that maybe they're willing to spend the big bucks? Maybe they're going to sign a guy like Cruz or Bednar next?
Well, I think Bob Nutting issued one of his strongest sort of statements as far as it's going to get called back to him if he doesn't back it up in the coming months or years. When he was asked about kind of just a financial outlay, like a broad-based question about Brian Reynolds' contract and what it means, is this the end or is this, the last year plans, he said, basically he said, we're just getting started in some ways. So I think people want to see O'Neal Cruz get a big contract extension. This might be the time to do it with him having the ankle injury. He might come in for a little bit lower than maybe he should, although that's still a big potential buy. But the owner seems to be sending signals. He's a lot more visible publicly, Richie. He's saying some of the things that he's saying. He seems to be sending signals that at least to some degree he's going to do things a little bit differently than he has in the past. As I always say, we'll see. But things look pretty rosy for him right now, and I think he's very aware that his Q rating, his approval rating with Pirates fans is probably higher than it's been in a very long time.
Yeah, what makes me worried about this? Look, I'm on board right now. What makes me worried about this is he said these things even to me when I've asked him questions back in like 2015 and 16 that he'd be willing to spend money and bring in guys, free agents, and they did the exact opposite after that. Maybe the management, the front office team had a lot to do with that, but they have a plan. It seems like they're going along with this plan. This plan might be expedited a little bit because they're playing so well this year. I didn't think they'd be good or competitive until next year, and maybe this is just a fast start. But I don't know if this team's going to come back to reality at some point. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks because they have the Rays coming up. They haven't played great teams. They played the Reds, the Rockies, and teams like that. But, they're going to level off at some point. But I still think this is a good competitive team, and they're going to be in that wild card race for, I think, a long time this year.
Well, in Oviedo, Contreras, and Keller, they have three starters that I like a lot. Velasquez looks like a guy who suddenly has rediscovered himself, although I think his track record, Phillies fans would tell you, is pretty spotty. But they have 60% of a rotation suddenly. Any of those three guys looks like they can be a stopper and prevent this team from going on the kind of big losing skid that would undo all this progress. I think the new rules, Richie, I've said this several times, clearly benefit a team that's got some good young athletes like the Pirates do. They stole a ton of bases tonight. Bay was all over the bases. I do think they have some staying power, and I'll be honest, I wasn't saying that about them a month ago. I did not believe this team was going to be very good. To this point, they've proven me wrong, and I think they could continue to do so.
Yeah, I always thought they'd be around 500, a little bit below, and competitive this year. I didn't think they'd be this good. I mean, they're on pace to win 108 games. That's not going to happen. But hey, now we're starting to think maybe 90s. 90 could be doable. All right, Chris, I want to talk a little bit about the draft. We'll get into the draft. We got to take a break first. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Be back in a couple minutes.